everyone. I wanted to come in here. I'm not using my computer because I got so tired of Facebook on my computer messing up my lives. So I have come in here on my phone, and I wanted to come in and apologize for my kind of quietness this week. One of them was definite resistance to using the Facebook Live new platform because I was kind of going a little mad with it. But mostly I think there was definitely a quietness to me this week that I really felt like I needed to tune in and make sure that I was feeling aligned and in tuned to the new movements that is flowing for everyone. There's a lot of talk about people talking about back to normal, and there's talk about people really trying to find the ways back to the way things were. And there's been something that's really been unsettled with that with me. So I started off the week by relaxing into that and just kind of navigating through a few different things. And then on Wednesday, it was like the universe said, actually, that's not enough. You need to stop more. So literally, I walked out into my hall, totally happy, totally fine. And believe it or not, I actually did fall through our floor. You might see my post on Facebook if we're friends, but I literally went through one whole leg. And I wanted to share that with you because I found it a really interesting experience to be able to, my initial reaction when something like that happens is always, ooh, what's my attraction point? Where am I? What's my focus? What's my vibration? What is it that would lead to something like this? I mean, I had one leg down through the floor. I pulled it out and I thought, oh, is it like broken? Is it, what's going on? And within that, there was still a sense of, what's the lesson here? I have a tendency to have this observer mind that literally, it was like, is she okay? It's like, I am not my body. Is she okay? And it was interesting, like, scrapes, bruises, a few bangs. It was not an emergency. I was not like running to the hospital or anything. It was calmly going to the sofa. And immediately the first thing that came to mind was definitely a sense of, oh, someone wants me to stop. I'm being asked to go calmly and go within. And it's interesting because something like that happens and you go, oh, what's the attraction point here? And oh my goodness, my attraction point might be really off. And then the next step really came to, well, actually, no. I could have broken my leg. It could have been one of my kids. It could have been, my son's like, the pets could have fallen down there and we'd never see them again. There's like a subfloor, right? So it was like straight down through a tile, one leg into the subfloor about that far. And there was a whole range of different thoughts. And in the long run, after doing a little bit of pivoting around, I realized that it was a very aligned moment. If the floor is being fixed, it could have been so much worse. It means that there's a lot of undercover problems at the house that are being uncovered. And there's a lot of shifts that are happening within that. So there's also an energy of, we had an old house that had a bad foundation, and suddenly that has come back to kind of bite us, but we're having it treated out properly. There's a little bit of healing that's in there as well. So it's interesting because it would be so tempting in a situation like that to let it unravel, to spin about what the situation is, to wonder the why, to let it unfold in a place that it does not need to go. And by taking a moment and going, wait, what's the real lesson here? What is the variety of perspectives that we can find within this? It meant that there was a wholeness to the situation. There was a healing within the situation. I allowed myself to take the day off yesterday. I allowed myself to deal with the shock that was in my body because it was only a few scrapes and bruises and a few bangs. I know my natural tendency was to push forward, to keep going. That's the way I am, right? Like I always am. Even to the point that, I can have a bottle of water. And my daughters were like, why are you reaching for the bottle of water? Just ask me for it. That's my natural inclination. But it gave me a moment to kind of stop and say, actually, no, I can rest. I can allow my body to adjust to the shock that it's been through. So it's interesting when you start asking yourself what the lesson is behind things and what's the aligned vision behind a situation. We are living in a time where there are so many shakeups. There's so many things that are happening to us, to our children, to all our bodies, and when I say our bodies, I mean just the information that's flying at us. You can feel it in your body. You can hold on to that trauma, that stress, that energy, you can hold it in your body, and that can be a traumatic experience. So you can observe all of this that's happening in this chaos and go, what's the lesson here? How do you want to navigate through? Is it something that's broken? Is it something that, oh, you're attracting something bad, or, oh, it's all unaligned, or, bad luck, or all of this spiraling energy? Or can you find that solid footing of saying, wait, this could have been this, and this could have been this, and it could have been so bad. There's a lesson here that I can seize the moment within, and I can grow from here. So that's kind of where this weekend's focus is, what I really want to encourage you to look at, because there's a shift in everything right now. And as everyone's trying to pull it back to normal of how things were and find that sense of balance, at the same time, there's this opportunity. There's an opportunity to invite that new energy in. There's an opportunity to allow yourself to shift to a higher version of yourself. There's an opportunity in all of this to pause and say, but how do I want to feel? How do I want to live? How do I want to align? What's the lesson here? What am I being led to? If you're starting to feel anxiety or stress or upset, and all of that is bubbling up, like all I keep seeing in this time right now is this vision of life cracking apart and everything bubbling up to the surface. Insecurities, upsets, anxiety, worries, stresses, things from the past that have been like you've been kind of burying deep, you might find that they're bubbling up to the surface right now. And if that's true, then it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to clear it out and really make a decision and align that decision to who you want to be, and ask yourself what you want, what feels better, what brings relief. So I want to encourage you to really have that for this weekend, of really allowing yourself to create that space of asking yourself what this lesson is, what that moment is. And the way you're going to do that really is to learn that lesson, is to plug in. And you've heard me talk before about plugging in, that really, spirit is like energy through the walls. You have to plug in to access it. And I was over in the breathing space over at the beginning of the week, and I said, you know what, everybody, I'm really getting the sense that we can be offering and sharing everything out. And really, if you're been practicing alignment for a while, you can really want to support everyone and rally, and there's a big outflow. But it's so vitally important to remember to tune in and tap in and to plug in. So it's vitally important to take the weekend to open up and receive and plug into the spiritual energy that is flowing to you. And when you plug in, you can ask, what's the lesson here? What's the shift that I need to make here in order that this situation is going to move me forward? What is it that I am feeling around with all of this? But the plugging in, that whatever way you find that spiritual connection, that can be through meditation, it can be through prayer, it can be through walking barefoot in the garden, it can be through art, it can be through baking, whatever is going to feel like that alignment, that is how you're going to find those solutions. You cannot force through your way to those solutions. They have to flow to you. So therefore, it really is a question of this weekend giving yourself permission to plug in. Wake up in the morning, allow that to energy. And Kate just said, and communicate with yourself and your energy and everyone else. Yes, and communicate. Because we were just over the breathing space and we were talking a massive discussion about how communication is really flowing. Listen to that spiritual force. Allow that to communicate to you. Receive the messages that is flowing to you. And ask. Allow yourself the permission to communicate that asking. Opening it up. What do you need at this moment? What can you receive at this moment? What is waiting for you in this moment, in this growth and in this time of transformation? Because it is a time for transformation. It's not a time about going back. It's a time for allowing the new. Okay, so like twice in this call, I've mentioned the breathing space, and I did want to pop in very quickly because there is a few things happening over in the breathing space that I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of. As of the 15th of June, I am going to be working through the chakra class that we did last year, but I'm going to be doing it again and introducing it all over again, and we're going to be working through it week by week. Why am I doing that now? Because I want to make sure that everyone's feeling grounded. So we start with the root chakra and we work our way up each week, focusing on a different chakra class. So each chakra will be given a week, and we'll be really diving into it within the Facebook group. But at the same time, the price is going to be increasing next week. I was supposed to be Monday, but I'm a little behind now. So it's only $25 a month for right now, but the coronavirus lockdown price is going to be shifting come next week. So I wanted to make sure everyone knew about that. So if you've been wanting that extra boost of community and support. I mean, we just did our office hour today, and it was absolutely positively amazing, where we had a really powerful discussion about spirituality and intertwining it with tradition and ritual and communication. And we were talking about the various ways of seeing that. It was absolutely phenomenal. So if you want to have a deeper sense of that community, then I really want you to encourage you to consider the breathing space. Well, it's $25 a month, because it's not going to be going back to $25 a month for, I can't imagine that. So that is there as an option. I will leave the link in comments. There's going to be a new site coming next week as well. So I'll get you to check it out and definitely consider it. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I actually have to pop off. I've got an interview with this entrepreneurial Raising Confident Kids, Entrepreneurial Kids Summit, which is coming up. I left the link of that already in the comments. But by all means, check that out. And have a beautiful weekend. I hope that you know you are in good company and you're not in this alone. And by all means, just keep plugging in, listening, and aligning. Love and light, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.